To me, this is one of the most important discoveries that neuroscience has ever made. Most people don't know this, but there's a brain structure called the anterior midcingulate cortex. But what's interesting about this brain area is there are now a lot of data in humans showing that when people do anything that they, and this is the important part, that they don't want to do, this brain area gets bigger. Now, here's what's especially interesting about this brain area to me. The anterior midcingulate cortex is smaller in obese people. It gets bigger when they diet. It's larger in athletes. It's especially large or grows larger in people that see themselves as challenged and overcome some challenge. And in people that live a very long time, this area keeps its size. In many ways, scientists are starting to think of the anterior midcingulate cortex not just as one of the seats of willpower, but perhaps actually the seat of the will to live.
If you want to stabilize people psychologically, and if you want to imbue them with courage, then what you do is you help them expose themselves voluntarily to the things they're afraid of that they're avoiding. It's a very powerful technique. That's exposure therapy. And what exposure therapy seems to do is to make people braver.
When I started seeing the data on the anterior midcingulate cortex, I was like, whoa, this is interesting. And all the data point to the fact that we can build this area up. But that as quickly as we build it up, if we don't continue to invest in things that are hard for us, that we don't want to do, that's the part that feels so Goggin-esque to me, that we don't want to do. Like if you love the ice bath, yeah, I love the ice bath, and you go from 1 minute to 10 minutes, guess what? Your anterior midcingulate cortex did not grow. But if you hate the cold water, if you're afraid of drowning and you get into water and put your head under, then your anterior and survive, then the anterior midcingulate cortex gets bigger.
I'll tell you how exposure therapy works, because it's no joke. So I had a client who was afraid that he would cut himself, and he was afraid that if he was on the top of a building, that he would jump off to his death. And one of the exercises we worked out was that he would sit at the top of his building near the edge with a knife. Right? And that's a very frightening thing to do as a therapist, because he's saying, look, I have this impulse to slash my throat and to jump off a building. And I thought, well, why don't you confront both of those things at the same time? Now, we worked up to that, you know, but I'm just using that as an example to show you how intense that exposure therapy can be.
But if you don't do it the next day, or if you do it the next day and you enjoy it, because, hey, I did it yesterday, woohoo, happy me, Merry Christmas, as you would say.
Merry Christmas.
Guess what? The anterior midcingulate cortex shrinks again.
So then you might think, well, what are people most fundamentally afraid of? And I would say, well, it's something like pain and death. And then even more particularly, it's unjust pain and death. And that's really at the core of the crucifixion image and story, because it's unjust suffering and death. And so the psychological, what would you say? Why have people been compelled to gaze upon this image of unjust suffering? And the answer is something like, the best way to adapt to life is to gaze on the image of unjust suffering, to do that fully. And I think that's true.
And it's almost like I have a friend, he's been sober 30 years from alcohol. And he always says, you know, the amazing thing about addiction is there's a cure. The problem is it only works one day at a time. And so you have to renew it every day.
That's right.
And you know, there's this strange idea too, and this is a very strange idea, that the spirit that guides the Israelites out of the desert, say in the Exodus story, so the spirit that stands against tyranny and that stands against slavery, is the same spirit that confronts tragic mortality voluntarily, right? There's an equation. That's the equation of the New Testament and the Old Testament. And I also think that's likely true, that the pattern that calls to us from within to object to tyranny and slavery is the same pattern that enables us to have the courage to look upon our own mortality, like forthrightly. And I would say that has to be that way to some degree, because imagine you want to stand up to a tyrant. Well, you could put your life at risk to do that, right? I mean, if you're going to speak truth to power, you know, to use that terrible cliche, you're going to have to face the fact that you might be hurt and even killed in doing so. And so How can it be different to face the inevitability of your own mortality for a moral cause and stand up to a tyrant? Those have to be the same thing.
Like, I never forget, I was on a podcast one time, and this dude goes, "You were blessed with a strong mind." Like, the hell are you talking about? I was blessed with a strong mind. That's something that you have to develop. You develop that over years, decades of suffering and going back into the suffer. That's why a lot of people who graduate Navy SEAL training, a lot of guys don't want to go back into that water. Don't want to go back into the hard stuff. And maybe not anything hard in life. Once you get through it, it's like you become a POW. Like, how many POWs you know want to go back to POW camp? None.
If you practice forthright and voluntary exposure to that which terrifies and dismays you, it transforms you. And we really know this as psychologists. We even know there's more and more evidence suggesting, for example, that if you imagine you adopt this attitude of voluntary confrontation, that changes you psychophysiologically. So much of the biochemistry of motivation and emotion is transformed when you take a stressor which could be oppressive and paralyze you and cause you to withdraw, and you reverse that and you decide to advance. It's like a different spirit inhabits you. And I mean this physiologically. There's a whole different pattern of being that makes itself manifest in you neurologically and psychophysiologically and pharmacologically. So you take it on as a challenge, right? And that transforms you at a cellular level too, because one of the things we've discovered in recent years is that if you do something new and complex, then that turns on that parts of your DNA that haven't produced proteins before will start producing new proteins and reconstruct you from the cellular level up. So it's a deep transformation, and we have no idea how deep.
When something sucks so bad in life, this is on this that we're talking about now, very few people want to go back. They're happy they graduated. I realized I'm the same way. I don't want to go back. I have to go back. I must go back, because that is exactly where all the knowledge of my life exists, was back there, and what you're talking about. Well, I didn't know anything about this, but how I grew a will was constantly doing these things to now, it's just life.
And again, you could ask yourself, if you didn't withdraw in fear from anything from everything that life threw at you, who could you become? And I would say that's the central religious question in some real deep sense. Are more things thrown at us than we can manage? Well, that's a tricky question, because pretty dreadful things are thrown our way. And you might say, well, that's just presents an insuperable barrier to progress. That's not very helpful, because you're alive, here you are, you got these problems to contend with, and if it's an impossible task, then how could you be anything but hopeless and desperate? But then you think, well, wait a second, how would things transform if I took this on as a voluntary adventure, regardless of its scope? And the scope would include unjust suffering, death, and hell. And that's not just some religious or metaphysical vision. It's like, no, you're actually going to have to contend with that in your life, in whatever way those things make themselves manifest to you personally. That's coming, man. And so maybe you better get prepared.
That's beautiful, and this is why I came on here with you today. And I'm glad that you're talking about this, because human beings need to hear this. They need to stop hearing these hacks on this and that. There's no fucking hack, bro. There's no fucking hack. Yeah, you may this and that and saunas and all this shit yeah, it's great. There is no fucking life hack. To grow that thing, how do you grow it? Do it. And do it, and do it, and do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna fucking suck.
And so you might say, well, if you could really face up to what you need to face up to, not only could you turn yourself into someone that could bear the catastrophe of life and exposure to hell, but maybe you could turn yourself into someone who would still do good even while facing those things. And that's a pretty noble goal.
And that's what I realized. That's what I realized. Life, that's why I wanted to come on here today. I didn't want to come on here and talk about no fucking passion and purpose and how to get the fuck out of bed and how to hit a fucking alarm clock and all this catchphrase bullshit. Because that wasn't how I lived. That wasn't how I lived. I woke up like every human being does and goes, fuck, man, I'm a fucking piece of shit today. How the hell is this gonna work out for me? And you fight that. And you fight that. You don't override it. There's no override button. It's the conversation in your fucking, in your head. So how do you do that? We don't have enough of these conversations about the real conversation that every human being is having. And they have no idea how to get out of it, but they do. It's that shit right there, man. You gotta build your will. How do you build your will? Exactly what you said, man. Exactly what you said.
One of the things I've learned quite with some difficulty, let's say over the last 5 years, is that the most adversarial obstacles actually afford the most serious play, because the more intense the attack, the more potential there is in making your ability to contend with it manifest.
Yeah.
And that's a very strange thing to learn, but it's, you know, and it's not a game without high stakes, but man, it's something to think about, is that the highest art of mastery, the highest form of mastery is to turn the worst obstacle into the most remarkable affordance.
Absolutely.
There's something deep about that, you know, that you may know this, you probably do, that we calibrate a lot of fine actions with opponent processing. And almost all of our fine actions are the consequence of two systems in opposition modulating each other. So if you want to move your hand really smoothly, you can do it like this, but it's still kind of jerky if you analyze it at the micro level. But if you do this, you can move your hand with incredible precision, and that's an opponent process. And a tremendous number of the physiological processes that we undertake are opponent processes. And, you know, you have that opponent process dynamic within a marriage, and you have it within a debate, you have it within play. It seems to be a universal principle, the principle of properly balanced opponent processing. And you could think about that at the highest level. Is the most fundamental obstacle might be the adversary that affords the most serious play. That's a revolutionary way to conceptualize the world.